we have the report that we are going to go through. I'm your crash investigator. We specifically deal with the highways investigations, and I welcome you all to this platform. On the screen you can see bus, school bus, roadway, departure and turnover. This is very important. In the milestone, Western Virginia, March 2024, that is when the incident happened. On Monday, that is March 4th, 2024, about 5:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, one C77 passenger bus, a school bus occupied by driver 19 students and operated by Calhoun County Board of Education, was traveling south on State Highway 16, that is HS 16, near Millstone in Calhoun County, Western Virginia. As the driver navigated a left-hand curve, the bus departed the right side of the paved roadway and entered an earthen drainage channel with culvert along the right side of the road. The right front rear tire stuck the end of the culvert. The bus then struck a fence and began to yell counterclockwise. As it re-entered the road, where the right rear tire stuck the culvert and the bus rolled a quarter turn onto its right. Before coming to the rest across both lanes of the State Highway 16, the 3 students on the bus sustained serious injuries, 16 students sustained minor injuries, and the driver was not injured. The safety issues identified are alcohol impairment of the school bus drivers and incomplete occupant protection on large school buses. As NTSB issues no safety recommendations to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and Western Virginia. The NTSB also reiterated to the recommendation of the Western Virginia and classifies recommendation to render independent school district. Just as you can see, whenever an accident or incident or similar things happen in our investigation, we look at what happened, what we found, and what were the recommendations. Then we are able to look at the factual information. In this case, we look at the crash narrative. How did it come into about? The occupant injuries, emergency responses, and also the highway factors, vehicle factors, also drivers factors and motor carrier factors. You are hearing the word factors. In order an accident happen, there must be certain things that have led to this kind of accident to happen. So we consider these factors, whether it was driver, vehicle, or highway factors, and all other associated things. We look at particularly the weather itself, whether it has been the major factor, the additional information like video evidence, viewing on the CCTV cameras, interviews with school personnel, and also witness statements and other NTSB investigations. The analysis takes place. In this case, we were in a position to carry out the alcohol impairment of the school bus driver, crash analysis, and at the same time the prevalence of the impaired school bus driver and alcohol detection systems. We made a summary. So we also looked at the incomplete occupant protection on large buses. This is very important. I love this area, the crash analysis, the requirement of installation and proper use of the lap or shoulder safety belt, and also we look at the summary. Of course, in our findings, we are able to come up with a conclusion where we can be able to talk about the findings that have been discovered and the probable cause of that accident. In this case, when we are looking at the causes, we are not considering only the immediate cause like alcohol. We needed to look at the immediate cause, underlying cause, and also the root causes. So we look at the immediate cause, underlying cause, and also the root causes. This is very specific, and when we are doing this, we are not doing it emotionally. We are doing the actual work basing on what has been presented. Recommendations were made. So in this report, I will be able to discuss about the recommendations that were made, the previous recommendation reiterated in this report, and also the previous recommendations classified in this report. So we shall be able to go through this report in the next video. In this sense, we shall be able to look at all areas and be able to define each and every step. Just as you are seeing, we have already come up with the narrative, the map itself where the accident was, and you can see the bus, can see the actual bus from there. Then also be in the position to see the drawings. This is what we do particularly because it gives us a clear motive of what highway accident investigation is looking like. So as a specialist in crash investigation, I'm working closely with the government entities in carrying out the road or highways incident and accident investigations. Our target is to see that we can be able to identify what happened, what we found, and we set the safety recommendations to minimize the reoccurrence of similar accidents. This is what is important, and we must be able to understand that we shall be able to have the serious discussion later on.